Traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about AMC. Now I want to break down everything going into Monday, but I want to reiterate everything that I said yesterday in the video. Now people saw that video and they took it as negatives. Now I want to show the positives and the negatives from earnings at all times. I always want to show both viewpoints, but then at the end of the video I always give you my projection on where I see us going with whatever stock that I'm talking about, and this is just a personal viewpoint. So let's break down why I believe AMC looks so strong going into the end of May, and why I believe this thing is queued up for a massive pump.
You smell that? What is that? Opportunity.
So like, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and if you need to unsubscribe, make sure you smash that one as well. Let's get right to the content.
I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side, staying alive.
So the focal point of the strength of AMC. Now, this is one thing I want to talk about, is the I borrowed as borrow rate to short the stock, because the utilization is still at that 100%. God bless. And now we're looking even more bullish, because now we know the dip that we saw potentially was from AMC selling some shares. Now, people in the comments from the last video try to say them selling shares was not dilution.
What?
Well, then you don't understand the definition of diluting a stock, because that's what it is. But it's still overall good news. Even from the news that they diluted, the stock is moving up after earnings, and on Friday it had a pretty strong movement back to the upside. We're going to look at the chart here in a second, but I want you to focus on this borrow rate for a minute, because it looks just so strong. I do want you also to know there's 26 million shares left to sell for AMC's end. Who knows when they're going to sell it, because obviously I was wrong with thinking that they would wait for some type of pump to do it. So that's something to keep your eye on. Although since we got back to this range, we've been absolutely ripping the stock to pieces, going in one direction, and that is up. And that's why we have the buy hammer, buy, throw it away. But in all seriousness, the stock looks really good. The next thing I want to focus on is going to be the overall volume. And I broke this down in the last video, but it was kind of near the end of the video when I got to the strong thesis. So I think a lot of people may have missed that out. So I guess I got to break it down to you quicker than usual. So as you can see, the volume was not great last week. We sat below 40 million on the volume for the whole week. However, we did start to see some upticking from those local bottoms at $8.90, bumping back to the upside, almost a 10% move once again. God bless. You're moving very, very strong. This is what you want to see. Even though they did miss on earnings with the EPS and the revenue, they have a strong outlook and a strong projection for the coming years. And it looks like they're moving onto the offense as well, with opening up new theaters and looking to expand. Now, some people could say that this is bad. They shouldn't be doing this just yet. They should focus on just recouping more money at the moment. But hey, it sounds bullish, right? So this could potentially be a backfire play, but this also raises the question that they're most likely going to want to raise more shares down the road, which leads to further dilution. However, this is going to be down the road. This is not short term. We're talking about May, and May is for the bulls. Now we're getting to the money part. We're getting to the part that all the boys, all the traders, maybe even the few females that follow me, I love you too, we look pretty strong. This is the chart, and this what wakes me up in the morning ready to rumble. And I mean, I can't even roll over just because I'm so excited, if you catch my drift.
So what are you talking about, man?
So if you look at the OBV, this is where you have to get the most excited. It's at the OBV. You can obviously see that we are bottoming out on this range down here. Let's grab that tool that we just barely missed. Bottoming out right here, which was actually at a higher place than those local lows. And then we started uptrending. I did mention before earnings that we were uptrending, which looked very strong. And then after earnings, we kept going with an uptick. So as you see, we had that uptick up. So as you can see, we had that uptick, and now we're just stepping back to the upside. It looks like we're going to get another breakout on Monday. I do anticipate a test of $10 and about $10.20 going into Monday morning, Monday afternoon. Strong statements. I'm a strong guy. What can I say? So that's what I see there on the OBV. But what we need to do is take a look at the chart and where we're moving, with us sitting directly underneath the VWAP. However, we look very strong comparative to the OBV, which was the indicator down here. So as you can see, we are getting a flag. We're bouncing off that daily level, and we're getting a push to end the day right back above the VWAP. And this is going to be that level that I want to test Monday morning, that red line. And that's where I see a bulk of the resistance. But I do see us moving quickly and moving relatively violently. If you do know, if you're in options, IV did drop it just a little bit. We're sitting at a pretty crazy point as well with that. And you know, when IV is low, I always pull out the hammer and I buy, buy. So that's what I love here. Options look juicy. People are asking me all the time, what am I targeting? I can't give you directly financial advice, but if I'm looking here, the options that I want are May 21st. You could go to the 28th if you really wanted to. I don't really know about that, but I like the 21st because I like sooner dated calls just to make as much money as possible. But I like May 21st with about 11.5, maybe $11 strikes. If you want to go to the, less risky side, you can go down to $10. I wouldn't buy a 9.5 personally. I think $10, 10.5 is the least risky, but still has a lot of upside and they're still very cheap. That's what I like personally. It looks really good. I'm actually going to spend a little bit more time than usual in the closing, so I hope you stick around and listen to some of this stuff. So as we're looking at AMC, there's a lot going on. There wasn't all bullish news per se going on with the earnings call. I do want to point that out. However, in the short term, they did everything right. The share recount is going to be massive, and that's what every investor should be looking towards. Now, primarily right now, I'm talking to people trading options. However, if you're a holder, I mean, it looks good as well. I do like it as well for a hold. However, on options, it looks more lucrative and it has me more excited. But I will say, holding it past June 2nd, it could get interesting. I'm just saying if the recount doesn't go well, you could be in for the long haul. However, I'm putting my money on the recount being strong, and I do think that there is an enormous amount of synthetic shares out there, and this thing will get absolutely crazy. Let the conspiracies roll in, and I'm probably going to see a lot of them down there in the comments, and then I'm going to see people hating as usual on the channel because honest content for some reason gets terrible reviews. So that's typically how it goes here on YouTube. So in recap, looking at AMC, going into Monday morning, I expect a 10 to 1020 retest somewhere in that range, and we're going to see how we react from that resistance. But I do see more volume pouring into AMC, and let's just cross our fingers and pray that some of that Dogecoin money starts pouring into the stock. Let's see how it goes. That's all for the video today. Like, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and remember, if you need to unsubscribe, I feel your pain as well. Have a good one, traders. I'm gonna say.